In the process of selling or buying a home and need some help, just get to the phone. Carol McClintock with FC Tucker Emge Realtors can help you out right now at 812-433-3456, 1-800-959-1414. Carol, it is great to have you with us. I want to talk about, let's change the subject a little bit. We're always talking about, we know the market is great,
yes,
but every homeowner has certain fears that he or she encounters. What's number one when it comes to biggest fears about home ownership?
Well, and we're mostly talking about first-time home buyers that, just wonder about this whole big thing about buying a home. But the biggest fear is that their property will lose value. And certainly that can happen because we never know what's going to happen to the market.
Sure.
But a home and real estate is still your most solid and best investment because you're actually living in it too. So sometimes people forget that instead of paying rent, they are building towards something.
And every once in a while, it can happen, overwhelming maintenance costs, such as?
Yeah, well, and you're going to have Jeff Head on here in a minute. And so you need to remember that when you own a home, you do need to maintain it. So a roof is something that can be very expensive, but if people plan ahead and they understand that they need to save for those kinds of things, just like we should all save for roofs, furnace and air conditioning, those kinds of things. The other thing is if you maintain a home well, then you should be able to extend the life on those kinds of things as well. So.
And of course, some people, I know you've been very buyer's remorse. It's rare, but it can happen. And it's primary, isn't it the fault of the homeowner where they go in and they go, uh-oh, I goofed.
Yeah. We were just talking before I came on, in 25 years in real estate, and I've represented probably 1,000 buyers, maybe more. I have never, ever had someone call me and say, I wish I hadn't bought that house.
Yeah,
they're always thrilled.
What a record. Also, with regard to mortgages, what can happen? You have to be able to afford that mortgage payment, right?
Right, exactly. We always tell people, before you ever go look at that first house, you need to sit down and talk to a competent mortgage lender. And we always tell people to start at their lender. They can help them through and help them understand the entire process, what kind of monies they're going to need, do they need closing cost money, and that is something that their lender should do. The biggest problems that we have had with mortgages are when people go to an out-of-town lender, they're online, they'll call us and say, oh, I found this price online. Well, then if they get into a problem, if it's not a local lender that we can eyeball, that we can talk to, then we can have a problem.
Talking with Carol McClintock, she'd love to talk with you. Don't put it off. Call these numbers right now. You're watching Ask the Expert, and Ask the Expert returns to Midday with Mike right after this. Give her a call. Our lines are open. Carol McClintock with FC Tucker Emge Realtors taking your call. Here's Michael in Evansville. Michael, thanks for waiting. Go ahead.
Yes, I have a question about selling a home.
Yes.
When you are retired and you've been in the home 80-plus years, the home is 80-plus years, and you've been in it for a long time. You've got maintenance up, but you find yourself in a position that you can't really finish out some of those projects, and you're going to have to sell the home as is. Do you have any suggestions?
Okay, well, when you sell a home as is, it does put you at a little bit of a disadvantage. One of the things that you do need to make sure that you do is I would definitely work with a licensed real estate agent to help you, because if you try to go for sell by owner, you could put yourself in a position that could create some liability for you. So I would just be very upfront if there are things that you know that need to be fixed. And I would definitely let the buyers do an inspection. You can let them do an inspection that is for informational purposes only. You're not promising to fix anything, but that could definitely protect both you and the buyer.
Michael, we appreciate the call very, very much. Okay, when you're getting ready to sell, what are the cardinal rules to make sure you're ready once you put the home up for sale?
Okay, number one thing, do a pre-inspection. Do an inspection of your home. Make sure that you know what is wrong with your home, and if there are things that need to be repaired, that you get those repaired. Then you can provide that pre-inspection to the buyer along with receipts from Heads Construction or whoever does the repairs, and so that they know that those things are done by a licensed qualified contractor, and they have a lot more confidence in going forward and purchasing the home. The other thing that people really need to check is their square footage, and we tell people that realtors are not trained, that they can get a licensed appraiser to come in and do that for them.
Right.
And depending on the size of the home, it can be $50 to $100, and it's worth every penny.
Good advice. And folks, for more good advice from Carol, whatever your home concerns, buying or selling your home, just go to 14news.com. That's where you'll find Carol McClintock with the McClintock team of FC Tucker MG Realtors. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy this weather.
Oh, thank you.
And Carol, thanks for being our guest.